All right, so moving on to our next story. It is still GameStop related. Sadly, GameStop, for some reason, it's not doing so hot. So we've talked before about how GameStop is trying to be marketable, trying to be put itself up for sale, trying to get maybe some prospective buyers rather. But apparently GameStop might have just been playing hard to get all along. So let me actually post. I thought I posted this. Yeah, no, I did. Okay. For a second, I was like, did I post this in the chat down below? I did. And of course, if you're watching this to our YouTube channel, those guys play it will be in the description box down below this article. So apparently, out of nowhere, GameStop says, you know what? We don't want to be sold. And it's like, what? So I don't know. Just GameStop just sitting there like, I don't really want to be owned by anyone. It's like, all right, that's weird. So out of nowhere, literally GameStop has said, and this is a quote, so GameStop is no longer aiming to sell the company because of a quote unquote lack of available financing on terms that would be commercially acceptable to a prospective acquirer. I don't know what that means. Again, was this like a stunt of some type for GameStop maybe to seem like, oh, so many people want to buy us? Because we actually talked about on Matt Rants companies that came out of the woodwork potentially wanting to buy GameStop. So I do wonder if maybe GameStop is sitting back like, see, look at all these people who wanted to invest in us. Or if this is actually GameStop being like, nobody wanted to invest in us, and they're just like crying just like in their room like, why did nobody want to invest? So looking here at let's see, because I want to get some more quotes on this. GameStop confirmed on June 19th that it was in talks with third parties regarding a potential transaction, and then all of a sudden just nothing. And it's just really, and it's interesting because this is speculation from Wedbush Securities analyst Michael Pachter, and he told entertainment industry news website Variety that he believes GameStop may have found investors, but it may have been unable to find lenders to invest in the company. So in other words, it may have found companies that were willing to buy it out, but with that comes a lot of change. Might need some more investors to get in on this, and they couldn't find those investors. So they found a company willing to buy, but not other people willing to invest. And then Pachter said that lenders may see future video game streaming services as a threat to the prominence of physical sales that GameStop relies on. I've heard mixed things about Pachter, I think. So I don't know if his word is the word of the Lord, is gospel to look at here, but still, it is an interesting thought though, because yes, with, newer gaming trends, with, despite me not liking, digital only, it's not as if other people aren't going for digital only, especially trying to get games sooner rather than later, especially when you look at companies that looking at something that happened to me recently, I tried to, even putting GameStop aside with some of their issues, I tried to purchase Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on Amazon. That thing took more than a week to get there, and I pre-ordered it. So I pre-ordered it. It was supposed to come out the day of to me, and it did not. So it took about a week to get to me. And that really frustrated me as someone who wanted to buy physical only and who loved physical only. And if I was more flippant on that issue and didn't really care, I would probably have just downloaded it via the Switch. I would have had it day one. So I'm not saying that digital never, right? I just prefer physical over digital. But looking at companies and people wanting to invest and wanting that return on their investment, it does kind of make sense that you would have some people who are investing in gaming. Just not that they're not investing in games anymore, they're just investing in a digital future rather than a physical future. And of course GameStop is they have physical games more so than they do digital. I'm not saying that they don't sell any digital codes or things like that, but they definitely have a focus on physical rather than digital. So yeah, it looks like they're not being sold anymore. Again, I don't know if this is a stunt or not, if it makes them look more valuable to investors or something like that, because of course there's this entire space of people that we're not in as consumers. So we look at this news and we're like, well, GameStop couldn't be sold, I guess they suck. But there are other people who are investors who go, oh wow, you found different companies that want to purchase you. Oh, that must mean that you're valuable. and it might actually increase their stock. And I don't mean actual stock as in stock market, I mean general stock. So you do wonder, you really do wonder if this was just a giant power play to the players, or if this was just them actually trying to sell and then getting screwed over. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think down below, though. Do you think this was a power move? Do you think that it was a bad power move, if it even was? And what does this make you think about GameStop? Do you think that this makes you think that GameStop is in charge and in control, or that apparently GameStop can't even be bought out? So, again, we'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. I don't know where I stand on this. This one is rather hard because, again, there's just an entire world that we don't know about, that to us this might seem silly, but to others they're like, oh wow, GameStop, so large and in charge, and they're important. So again, I want to hear what you guys have to say down below.